I thought I had to sneeze. How we doing? Things are crazy in the world right now. The number 8 keeps showing up in my life and it's time to investigate it. First, Canon announces this 8K mysterious camera that can shoot up to 30 frames per second, full sensor in 8K. Second, our beautiful Earth's 8 continents are going through this pandemic, which I can't name because of demonetization. But more important than all of that, Canon is releasing the T8i. Also guys, really quick, I'm shooting on my girlfriend's X-T3 right now with the Fringer adapter, and I'm using my Sigma lenses. Looks pretty good, huh? And I got autofocus. And I have completely redone my bedroom and turned it into a little studio. I don't even have a bed in here right now. It's actually in my closet back there. Let me know if you guys would like to see a new studio tour video. It's almost completely done. Let's get into the T8i. This beautiful little Canon T8i camera looks like it's gonna be really, really good for beginners, maybe getting into video or photography. And the specs of the T8i are seriously so close to the 90D, it's making me wonder if maybe they're gonna try to kill off that line of cameras, or maybe we'll get a 91D. Only time will tell. So let's check out the specs of the new Canon T8i. It's not even released yet, it's available for pre-order. We'll compare it to the 90D a little bit, and if you're curious about the 90D, I have a full review up top. The T8i is a 24.1 megapixel APS-C crop sensor EFS mount camera. That was confusing. It's very similar to the 90D, which is a 32.5 megapixel crop sensor camera as well. The T8i does UHD 4K up to 24 frames per second and 1080 up to 60 frames per second. The only difference in the 90D is you can do 30 frames per second in 4K and 120 frames per second in 1080. The crazy thing to me is that the T8i has 45 autofocus phase detect points. That's the exact same as the 90D. And if you saw my review of the 90D, the autofocus in that camera is amazing. If it's the exact same technology in the T8i, which I imagine it is, it's gonna be really solid. And the T8i is only $750 brand new. You can pre-order it right now on B&H or Amazon. And the 90D is still $1,200 new. Let me just zoom in for a second, actually. Look at that autofocus. And as we learned in my 90D review, my forehead is huge. No, that's not what we're talking about today. Okay. With the 90D, and I think pretty much any Canon camera, you can go to technicolor.com and download their Cinestyle, which is a flat log kind of profile. I imported that into the 90D and got really cool results with it. More dynamic range, more flexibility with color grading. I imagine we'll be able to do the same thing with the T8i, and once it's released, I'll get my hands on one and do some testing. I'll do a review, let you guys know. If that is the case, this camera will be super baller for content creators, YouTubers, people just getting into video, maybe just starting photography, but we'll have to wait and see when they release footage and photos and stuff. The only other difference that I can see right now between the T8i and the 90D is that the 90D has a slightly bigger battery capacity rated at 1,300 shots as opposed to the 1,240. Who knows, maybe with all this craziness happening in the world, it will get delayed. I've heard rumors on the internet that the R5's production has been delayed. We're just gonna have to wait and see what happens in these next coming months with everything going on. We already know that NAB is canceled. I'm really hoping Cinegear doesn't get canceled, but we do have to be concerned about the well-being of everybody on the whole planet right now. So we'll see what happens, how it affects the camera world. If you are looking for a beginner camera or a YouTube camera, the T8i looks like a really safe bet. You can wait until it's released and see what's going on, or you can pre-order it. It's only $750. If you want to check out the T8i or the 90D, I will leave links in the description, and there's links to all my gear too. And if you buy that stuff using my links, I get a little bit of commission. No extra cost to you. Thanks. Guys, please stay safe during this really crazy time. Be thoughtful of others. This is actually a really good chance for us to either learn a new software, practice editing, color grading. I'm gonna do my best to give you guys as much content as I can during this time, so you have some entertainment, hopefully some inspiration. All right, thank you for watching. Subscribe or you will definitely run out of hand sanitizer. Become a patron and buy. With the T8i, that's a hard name to say. Tate. Can we just call it the Taint-i? With the Taint, we're getting, damn it.